Too many women chase after fantasy dates and meaningless luxuries, child, because that Louis Vuitton bag will not keep you warm. A man provides more than finances. He provides order, safety, wisdom, teaching, proper guidance of children, good neighbor, clean environment. A lot of the men you think you want aren't even what you truly need. Zoom in, baby dolls. The man you think you want and the man you think you need are two different people. Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with Melanie P podcast. I'm your girl, Melanie P, and we're here to have a conversation. Listen, today we're talking about our girl, Kendra G. And she was actually in my area last week. She was in Charlotte last weekend. And how did I not know about this? She had a singles event in Charlotte. And I noticed that I have been seeing a lot of things about Miss Kendra G online. And by that, I mean like people talking about some of the things that she's been saying and also talking about her kind of negatively, which I just really hate to see. Listen, y'all, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping videos damn near every day. So make sure you join the community. Make sure you watch the video to the end, child, because that really helps the channel when you watch it till the end. And if you have questions, if you want to have any critiques even, I'm gonna be scared I said that, but if you have any topic suggestions, if you want to come on the show, if you just want to kiki and chat with me, drop me an email or send me a DM. All my information is in the description below. While you are in the description box below, check out the link for the Nama products, y'all. I am working with the amazing CBD and THC brand, Nama, and they have the best products hand down. So make sure you guys hit that link in the description to order your Nama products. You'll get money off and you'll support the show at the same damn time. So there is this clip that I want to play. Now, before I play this clip from Kendra G, here is what this clip posed a question for me and my homegirl.
It's upsetting me and my homegirl because we feel like, well, damn, if you can't go to bed and no chase, what the hell could you do?
When it comes to the whole dating situation and women dating men who literally may make $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, and a lot of those women being like, hell no, that ain't no option. I'm not dating no man who make $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 and I make six figures. To each his own. I will say that. But I've had a series of conversations over the past couple of weeks. I have, even when I had with my sister-in-law last night. So basically, here was the question. I said, if knowing what you know now, because she's actually in a very happy, successful marriage. She's been married for damn near 20 years. Her husband is a high value, six-figure plus man, black man who chose a black woman. I asked her because she does have a good amount of single friends, not a lot, but she does have some single friends, and she does listen to the Kendra G streets, the high value man street. She has a daughter, a 20-some-year-old daughter. I asked her, I said, with all this conversation that you hear about 50-50, blah, 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 if you, God forbid, were out here back on the dating streets, and if you made $160 a year and you were dating at the age that you are at where you are now, would you say hell no to a man who made $45,000 a year? And she quickly said she would not say hell no to this man. So she clearly said hell no. It's a hell no that she would be like, oh no, I'm not going to date or entertain this man who makes $45,000 a year. And I asked her why. And I asked her what would have to be, like, how does that look? How does she come up with her answer? How does that look? And she said the same thing that Kendra G is going to say in this clip that we're about to listen to that I agree with. She said, at the end of the day, this is what she's saying, if I make $160 a year and a man that I meet makes $45,000 a year, let's say that he works as an IT help desk person and he makes, let's just say $50,000 a year to her $160 a year. Would you date her? And he said, or would you date him? And she said, Yes, if he provided value in other places. If she had a man that was a good leader, was a good protector, gave her what she needed, I guess on an intimacy level, and I don't even mean sexually, but just gave her everything that she needed to add value to her life, protection, love, security, can fix shit around the house. She knows that to him, she is his number one priority. She feels secure and safe that he is a protector. He can provide for her in other ways other than financial. She said without a shadow of a doubt that she would date this 50K man. Her reasoning behind that is that if she's making 160, she's living her life, and we're using this like in our age range. So let's say between let's say between the ages of 40 and like 50, 55, let's say for shits and giggles. She's making 160. She's living her life, going to dinner, going on vacation, buying what she needs. She makes 160. She's able to pay for and lead a really great life based off her 160. So if this man who makes $50,000 a year is living on his own, is, paying his car payment, paying his mortgage, hopefully not rent, but paying his mortgage, living and functioning through life off that 50K without any issues, not coming to her to say, hey, can you pay that car payment this month? Or hey, can you do this? Can you pay this, pay that? Hell yeah, because if this man is providing value in every other way and he just happens to make 50K, to her 160, well, when you add his 50K to her 160, now they done bumped up to over $200,000 a year if it moved to that space. So now I'm gonna play this clip from Kendra G, and we gonna get into it.
So they describe the same guy. They want him to have money, have swag, be attractive, and all of that. Now, I might have 10 of those guys, then I have 3,000 women. So just from that type of guy, there's just not enough to go with every person. Also, the things everybody's saying they want our grandma's love, like she just said, y'all don't know what grandma went through to keep that love. I would be happy by myself, taking care of myself before I tolerate your BS. So I say all that to say, if you really want to be a wife, character is all that matters. Not money, not height. Is this man going to be there for you on your dying bed? If you couldn't walk tomorrow, would he wipe your behind? Those are the only components, and that's how women will run the game again. Because we put out there, you got to be attractive, because you got to have money, those men are acting up, and they acting like a damn fool because they know they got so many women that want them. Just date. People are like, Kendra, I need a man, and the Uber driver dropped him off. Well, was the Uber driver nice? Just go for coffee, girlfriend. It's just coffee. You never know, because that Uber driver might be an Uber driver, but maybe saving to make his own fleet, and maybe you're the sauce that can help him market it. A lot of marriages really are partnerships. We just think the man's the head of the house, but maybe it was the woman's idea, he executed. And a lot of women who are powerhouse, I know she said you don't might want to build a man, and I get that, but you might also have no man to build. Either you can have a no man or invisible man or yourself. You got to pick out of it. It's just the real talk.
Let's look at some of the comments from that clip. So Kendra said it got real in Charlotte. We got you, sis. Tour. I love that, with Ellen Rucker Sellers. She is actually, I think, local to Charlotte area. Jaleel White said, I know Jaleel White ain't talking because he don't even like black women. He said, protect Kendra G at all costs. Someone said, the real Sharia Moore said, a lot of women who aren't truly happy with themselves project their insecurities by creating these unrealistic, superficial checklists for men, but deep down, what they really crave is real love. Say it again for the woman in the back, Cherie. I'm constantly around and connected to women, and you know what I rarely hear? I want a man with strong morals, deep respect, and someone who will truly be there for me when it matters. When I'm sick, when I'm struggling, when I need guidance. Instead, so many are focused on the fairy tale, that the aesthetics and the status, they care more about how it looks than how it feels. Girl, you are preaching, Sharia Moore. You are really preaching. She said, I observe, I listen, and I don't judge. But as a boy mom, I make sure to school my son on what to really look for in a woman in his generation. I tell him to pay attention to her character, her values, her mindset, because that's what truly matters in the long run. And I tell women who are really ready to listen, if you genuinely want a good man, seek out his character first, his moral compass, his integrity, because if he's built right, the finances and everything will... Let me read this sentence again. She said, and I tell the women who are really ready to listen, if you genuinely want a good man, seek out his character first, his moral compass, his integrity, because if he's built right, the finances and everything else will come. Too many women chase after fancy dates and meaningless luxuries, but what's truly valuable? She wrote a whole paragraph, child, or a whole thesis. A man who sees your vision and girl, Sharia, you are speaking to me. And all of us. A man who sees your vision and invests in you, helping you grow in ways you never imagined. A man who isn't just spending on you, but building with you. That's the bigger picture. That's real partnership. And when you're both locked in, focused on evolving together, it'll just give me chills. You don't have to rush. You don't have to demand it. It naturally comes, because when a man truly sees you as the prize, he moves accordingly. And let's be clear, patience is not settling. Know the difference and be mindful of the kind of man you're asking for, because a lot of the men you think you want, they aren't even what you truly need. Zoom in, baby dolls. The man you think you want and the man you think you need are two different people. The man you think you want and the man you think you need are two different people. Who wrote this? Because she need to have her own podcast. The Real Sharia Moore girl, whoever you are, sister, you ain't did nothing but preach. I'm gonna read a couple more. Ashley Everett said, you better preach, sis. Spreading the Kevin Samuels gospels. Here we go. Bishop Greg Davis says, it's more good men than that. Ladies, don't get out. They want the man to come knock on the door. You got to get out. They don't want to be solo. They don't want to do the solo trips and table for one. He could be at the same restaurant, child, on the same trip you're at. I believe that. You cannot end the sentence with at. You go to whole phase. Let's see. I want you to have your own talk show. I mean, the dating thing is cool too, but you can have something like Cameron. As a husband of 33 years who met his wife on college, I guess he means in college, many of these comments sadden me. Black people have reduced the value of a person to $1. That is pitiful. We have women on here talking about settling. What does that mean? Did you all grow up with a father? I know that most didn't. 35 and under because of the crack era. Jesus Christ. Do you have a clue what a man provides to a family and a household besides money? Order, safety, wisdom, teaching, proper guidance of the children, good neighbor, clean environment, etc. Let's repeat that, sir. What's your name? What's his name? I'm hot. What? I'm Hotep Saint. Okay. Let's repeat that last sentence. A man provides more than finances. He provides order, safety, wisdom, teaching, proper guidance of children, good neighbor, clean environment, etc. Child. These comments are lit. And I'm glad to see that these comments are giving what they need to give. How come it's true when Kendra says it, but it isn't true when men in the same field say it? Someone said, like, what? You know what? It's comments like this that disgust me, to be honest with you. Why did you have to say that? And it looks like this guy, is he white? This TVA.IPW. Let me see who this is. Just out of my, who is this white man talking? I guess he's white. But I guess, it's comments like this, honestly, that make me feel a little bit uneasy, because what does it matter who says it? Because at the end of the day, what she's saying is very beneficial, in my opinion, to the Black community, to dating, to relationships, to trying to, build relationships versus trying to have a bunch of single homes and households. I always reference Grown Men Talking. Make sure you guys follow that YouTube channel. We had a very interesting conversation. I was on his show maybe a couple of Fridays ago. He was saying that when it comes to the Black household, we are literally at the bottom when it comes to household income and households that have two parents in them, like a mother and a father and a child versus a single parent household. He was saying that the Black family right now is at the bottom financially as far as the household specifically, is because we're so worried about if this man make 40K and oh my God, I make 90K, then I don't want to blend my money with him. But it poses a good question. If your man made $50,000, you made $100,000, would you rather have $150,000 and then help him if he's the right man to double his income if possible, or would you rather just sit there in that $100,000 by yourself? And here's the thing, because I don't want to be one-sided. I don't want to be like, oh, go find you a man, a postal worker, go find you a $40,000 man. I don't want to push that on nobody, because if you don't want that, you don't want that, right? But if you desire marriage, and if you desire relationship, and if you desire family, and if you desire two-parent households, then I really feel like you have to kind of change the way that you think about things. Like, one of the things that I like about relationships is that I feel like relationships should be, and I said this before, some people don't agree with it, but they should be a business. I feel like relationships and marriages should be run like a business. They should have some aspects and components of how a business model is created the same way that you do at your job. It should be in your relationship. And by that, I mean, if Bill Gates or whoever, if they grossed $100,000 for the year, do you think they would prefer the $100,000 or the $150,000 or the $160,000? They would prefer the $160,000, and then they would try to find ways to grow that 160 to even 260 next year. You know what I'm saying? Or next quarter. So I feel like we're always thinking about individuals, man versus woman, not what we could do together. Now, I have to say this piece as well, because I feel like some women are opposed to this conversation and to this ideology, because they feel like, well, I wouldn't even want a man who's fine with making 40,000 or fine with making so much less, or would I even respect a man that, makes that less? Now, I did some digging, I did some research of my own, and the average Black man in 2025, 2024, the average income, I want to say, is like $60,000. And that is the middle range. Actually, let me pull that up just to make sure I'm saying that right. In 2025, the average annual salary for Black men in the USA is estimated to be around $79,000, with a range of $48,500 to $95,500. Now, that's saying a lot, because at the end of the day, I feel like people always kind of put it out there that, oh, the average Black man only making $12 an hour. I don't know if that's true. I do agree that this is accurate. I think $80,000 for the average salary sounds about right. And I think that the range being 48 to 95 sounds about right as well. If the average man is making between 48 and 95, that's just what it is. And at the end of the day, I would much rather us blend our dollars to, create these beautiful merged families versus wanting to be divided. Now, some people are saying that, oh, Kendra has a change of heart because, okay, years ago when the late Kevin Samuels, when she was on his show, she had a whole change of tune. I think she was like 41. I don't know how old she is now, but I don't think she's ever been married. She doesn't have any kids. And there's nothing wrong with her elevating her way of thinking. And I saw that some people were on YouTube and different podcasts like, oh, well, look at you now. You got a couple of extra years on you, a couple of extra pounds, and now you want to be like, oh, well, date somebody for, their character, for their morals. And yeah, like, again, there is a group of people who really mean well, who really are here for the movement, who are really here, like the Meet to Marry, right? The Meet to Marries of the worlds and the Grown Men Talking of the worlds. They're actually here to build and bridge like Black couples and Black families and try to find a commonality without putting anybody down. But then you have a larger group, it seems like, who is just here to be combative, to debate, and to keep the divisiveness going. And that's what I do not like. And so if Kendra G was like, oh, now I've elevated this way of thinking, that's a positive thing. Now I see, because to me, when I'm saying that, Vivica Fox popped up in my mind. Vivica Fox popped up in my mind because, as you remember, she was on all in the blogs because she was saying that now she's ready to get married, and people were saying, well, oh, now you're ready to get married, you're like 50 years old and a bunch of pounds heavier. Like when you was fine and young, you didn't, you wanted to put your career ahead of everybody, but now that you're older and bigger, you know what I'm saying, and got some miles on you, oh, now you're ready to be married. So to each his own, child. If it don't apply to you, it don't apply to you. But we have to be more cognizant and more progressive in our way of thinking in terms of building us together and being happy when a woman changes her way of thinking, because this is what happens. Women look at Kendra G. Young women look at Kendra G. They listen to Kendra G, and to some people, like, they're really listening to her and what she's saying. So it's a great thing that if a woman who has a little bit more of an age on her belt and has grown, okay, well, she's maturing and changing her way of thinking. So now when young girl is watching Kendra G live, now she can, or watching or following Kendra G live on Instagram, or meets her out in public, she can actually start to look at what she's saying and be like, you know what? Let me focus more on how a man treats me, that he provides additional value other than just money. Money is not like every single thing. Now, again, I have to keep it a buck with you. Would it be my preference to date someone that made, considerably less than me? It truly would not be. However, I feel like a lot of women are saying that they're totally closed. Like, oh, you are a postal man? I want to talk to you. I don't want to go on a date with you. Oh, you drive Uber? I don't want to go on a date with you and talk with you. Oh, you do this. You're a truck driver. Child, truck drivers make bank. You're a welder make bank. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, to me, it comes from ignorance. It comes from the bad side of social media, because one woman said that, oh, I don't want to wear, I want to be kept, I want to be taken care of. And now this has grown legs. And so it's these young women who are coming up, like my nieces, like my daughter, who I want them to date with intentionality, and I want them to choose a partner to where they don't freaking have to get divorced because, oh yeah, he got money, but he's an asshole, or he's a deadbeat, or he's abusive. I'm going to actually call my daughter, who's 18, because I want to get a young person's perspective. So like I was just saying, at the end of the day, having nieces, having a low-key adult daughter, child, she's not an adult, so don't come for her. But having that connection with the younger women, when they're hearing these clips like Kendra G, they can hear this, and maybe the sexy reds of the world won't have so much of a impact on them. Maybe, having a bunch of baby daddies who you don't know who the baby daddy is, having STDs, all these things, maybe that won't be cool. But dating a man with moral character, who can provide you stability, who can fix shit around the house, who can, stabilize your nervous system. Like, people I know, I had a show recently where I was talking about, Adi and Ali. Adi and Ali literally are engaged. And the one thing that she said to me when they were having their first podcast episode is that Ali provides peace and calm to her nervous system. So I actually have my 18-year-old who is going to UNCG in a couple of months, a student, almost 4. What you got, 4.0 GPA, child?
Yes, 4.0.
4.0 GPA, face card that doesn't decline, bad, I don't want to say B, so whatever. But anyway, at the end of the day, I called her in on this conversation because, being that she is a young Black woman, being that she is, going to college, that she will be in a couple of years in this space. Well, even in a couple of years, because when you go to college, a lot of people meet their spouses in college. That's not hopefully what, she'll do in the first, second year. But at the end of the day, this is when life truly begins. So, Ryan, I think I sent you the clip of Kendra G. I'm going to play it. Again, just so we are all on the same page.
So they describe the same guy. They want him to have money, have swag, be attractive, and all of that. Now, I might have 10 of those guys, then I have 3,000 women. So just from that type of guy, there's just not enough to go with every person. Also, the things everybody's saying they want our grandma's love, like she just said, y'all don't know what grandma went through to keep that love. I would be happy by myself, taking care of myself before I tolerate your BS. So I say all that to say, if you really want to be a wife, character is all that matters. Not money, not height. Is this man going to be there for you on your dying bed? If you couldn't walk tomorrow, would he wipe your behind?
Jesus.
Those are the only components, and that's how women will run the game again. Because we put out there, you got to be attractive, because you got to have money. Those men are acting up, and they acting like a damn fool because they know they got so many women that want them. Just date. Like, you know, people are like, Kendra, I need a man, and the Uber driver dropped him off. Well, was the Uber driver nice? Just go for coffee, girlfriend. It's just coffee. Like, you never know, because that Uber driver might be a Uber driver, but maybe saving to make his own fleet, and maybe you're the sauce that can help him market it. A lot of marriages really are partnerships. Like, we just think the man's the head of the house, but maybe it was the woman's idea, he executed. And a lot of women who are powerhouse, I know she said you don't might want to build a man, and I get that, but you might also have no man to build. Either you can have a no man or an invisible man or yourself. Like, you got to pick out of it. It's just the real talk.
All right, Ryan. 18-year-old Ryan. 18, what the hell was that? 18-year-old Ryan going to college, will be in the real world, and before you know it, when you hear that clip, tell me what you think and what you're seeing in your age group. Like, what is that clip? When you hear that clip, what do you hear? And what are your thoughts?
When I hear that clip, I think what she's saying is the truth.
Yeah.
Do I see that with 18-year-olds now?
Right.
No. No. I mean, there's I would say, if there's a group of 20 18-year-olds, I would say about 1 to 5 of them would even embody what she said.
What do you mean?
Like, she's talking about going to someone with a good personality. So a lot of the people in my age group, especially if you're on like TikTok and see all the stuff, it's all about like playing mind game or I need to act like I don't actually care because I don't want to scare this girl off, even though that's not. Even if a girl's getting scared off for you showing your actual true emotion, that doesn't even make any sense. So but I can't just blame men or just blame women because it's like or girls my age. I can't blame one over the other because both of them are just entertaining this game. And there's some people who have been together all throughout high school because they aren't playing this like weird games where I have to pretend to be something I'm not. So
let me ask you this, because hopefully at 18 y'all are not trying to get married to nobody, right? So being that you are about to be in college, you know, and just forward thinking, when as what you're around now, right? What you see just in your experiences, what you see with your parents, you know, which probably Lord help us, but what you see in general, what you're learning, what you're seeing on the podcast and stuff like that. If you could fast forward to a space and time where you are maybe actively dating, with what you're seeing now in your mindset, being that generation that's coming up, you know, behind us, do you feel like a man's money is the top, or do you think you would truly be looking for a partner that provides other things other than finances, almost over the finances? Like when it comes to that conversation about 50-50 and what a man should make, even though this is a bit
ahead of my time,
ahead of your time, right? It really isn't, because what you're seeing, what you're observing, what you're around now is what's going to be in your mind when you are, you know, making those choices and dating. And again, going to college, you are that generation that's coming up. So what do you feel about that? Like, do you feel that you would date a man based off how he treats you, or do you think that dollar sign is top thing?
When you're trying to find somebody who you're actually trying to spend a long-term relationship with or forever with, I feel like the money would be a plus. It'd be like an add-on. It's like, okay, but someone's personality and how they treat you, like there's literally a woman. I don't know if you did I don't remember if you did a podcast on her, but she's called like the trophy wife or something.
Yeah.
And she was literally married this old man for money, and now her daughter is traumatized for life.
Right.
Because he assaulted her.
Jesus.
So sorry, but I wouldn't want that to be me. I would never want to be in a situation, and I would never want to see any of my friends in a situation. So I would rather somebody treat me nice, and I don't want them to be homeless. No, but I want us to be at a similar level. And I feel like if you find your person who's actually for you, they'll be at a similar level with you.
That's true. So let me ask you this. So again, just future thinking, if you met a man, and you were older, out of college, graduated, living successfully, let's say you made $200,000 a year in the name of Jesus. And let's say you met a really great guy who, treated you well, calmed your nervous system, really was that partner that felt like your soulmate, but he made $60,000 to your 160 a year. How would you feel about that? The truth. Now, let me just preface this, because obviously you've led a pretty good life financially. You're not the person who didn't have a dad in their, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how a lot of times when women don't have fathers in their lives or come from certain situations, sometimes they'll take anything. Understanding that you come from a low-key privileged father who has provided financially for you very well. I'm just painting that picture because that's what you come from, whatever. So that's why I paint that picture, but go ahead. What I'm asking is, you're fast forward, you're out of college, you're making 160 a year. You fall in love and meet a man that makes 60 a year. With what you know now and how you think now and what your experiences have been in terms of like what you see around you, would that be okay with you? Or if you even saw a man that made $60,000, would that just be an automatic no for you?
It would not. It wouldn't be an automatic no, I don't think, because just because I'm making 200, like I'm making 6 figures and they're making 2 figures, they're making 2 figures. I think as long as, like, let's say we get a house, it's not going to be, and we're trying to pay 50-50 on there or something, it's not going to be exactly 50-50, because if someone is making 60K, I'm making 200, our 50-50 is not the same, because that's going to be like, it's depending on where we live. So I feel like if you're dating, I feel like it should be an understanding, but it should never be like I make more than you, so this is how this is going to happen. Because I know if I think it's older age group, and if the roles were reversed, a man feels like, I have power over you because I have more money than you. So I feel like from a girl, if I actually like you and love you and want to be with you, you making 60K, as long as you're able to pay like utilities or something.
So you would pay the mortgage while your man paid the utilities.
I mean, I guess if that's how it works out, if that's what our 50-50 is, if we're paying 50-50. I mean, I'm not going to take care of somebody just because I make almost 2 times what they make.
Right.
But I think we should both pull our weight with how much we have.
So ultimately, and again, this is hypothetical, but ultimately, if you did, fast forward, you're an adult, you're making 160 a year, this man is making 45, 60 a year, whatever, you would not be opposed to entertaining him and like dating him?
No.
Got it. That's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. So that means that you're not of the sexy red or whoever your people are mentality.
No.
So why do you think as a young woman, and then I'll let you go, why do you think as a young woman that there's so many young kids, especially in your age group, that look at the sexy reds and look at the whoever y'all people are, and they're like, heck yeah, give me the money. I don't want to work. I want to be a stay-at-home this or whatever. Like, why do you think that is?
Well, personally, I feel like people are dramatically joking. I don't think that most people actually want to be sexy red. I feel like it's a joke, in my opinion, and I feel like the older age group doesn't understand that.
No, hold on, honey. Who the older age group? Who the older age group? I agree with that. I think that social media, I think it's a narrative. I truly believe that this is a narrative that's placed out there that's very detrimental to the Black community, to be like, oh, well, we all like sexy red. Like, you know me, or you know me. I will dance into her to a sexy red, but that don't mean I'm trying to be like her. And that don't mean that I think that, young people are trying to be like her. There are some, but I don't think that she is who we aspire to be. Maybe she got a cute little bop, music, whatever we dance to, but I don't think, which is awful again to be saying, but I do feel like I agree. I think it's a horrible narrative, just like kind of like how you said, it's a horrible narrative that all these women just want to find a rich nigga, you know what I'm saying, to take care of them. I don't even believe that that's the majority. I do think that it is a false narrative from social media.
And I feel like the narrative, in my opinion, I don't want to get canceled, but I feel like the narrative comes from men. I feel like the narrative comes from men because I feel like most women, I don't feel like most women are like, oh, I want money. And if it is, it's a certain category that has been led to believe that because of the lifestyle that they either live or wanted to live or have been pushed, or they come from a rich or wealthy family, so they want their man to match how rich their father or mother is. But with the Sexy Red thing, I hope people aren't trying to, because I feel like in the black household, I don't know any black mother is going to be like, yeah, live a Sexy Red, or they're going to even approve of that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, you raise a really good point that I just don't believe that that is the majority of people, nowhere near the majority of people. I think that she is a horrible, and I hate to use her because that's all I can think of, but I think she's a horrible representation for girls your age, for the ones who may not have the progressive way of thinking as you do, because a lot of girls might not think that way. A lot of girls see that lifestyle, and let's use Carisha. You know, let's use Young Miami, right? Let's use her for an example. You know, she not. Well, I guess she damn near close to Sexy Red, but at least she looks more refined, I say. But people see Carisha Please, she got her own podcast. She literally talking about loving for men to pee on her, which is awful. You know what I'm saying? So, and she's out here getting flued out, like they put together this whole flued out thing, and to a lot of young girls that is appealing. So Sexy Red is probably very much on the drastic stream of things, but I think like if you look at Young Miami, for example, then that do look like a good way of living. Even for me, like I'd be like that looks like a good way of living. However, morally, I know that I would not want no man peeing on me. I know that I would not want to say and do the things he says. But when you think about Young Miami, or is Young Miami somebody that is in your people? Like, who's a Young Miami for you, or is that Young Miami?
I think Sexy Red was a good example because I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. Oh, okay. But I really feel like because that narrative is being pushed that so many women want to be like Sexy Red, people who are like my Rohan's age, like my younger cousin's age, might think that that's the actual reality. Like people who are in like middle school, because middle schoolers are the people who are the most impressionable with what's going on the internet, because they are really chronically online compared to like people in high school. So I feel like they may actually think that's what people want, but in reality that's not what most people want. So I feel like it's more damaging to people who are like middle school, elementary school, who are trying to grow up fast because they've seen people like, even because in elementary school you can't understand what isn't a joke for somebody who's in high school or who's older than in high school. Especially on TikTok, because people take it very seriously, especially the kids.
Okay. Well, do you have anything closing before I disconnect?
I just want to say to people who are 18 and in their young 20s or and seniors in high school that to stop playing mind games with people and just be yourself, and that social media is not that serious. And yeah.
Okay. Listen, look, let me give you the cheers. All right, y'all. Thank you, Ryan. All right. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Bye guys.
Bye. Now that was interesting. That was a very interesting perspective from a young up and coming, like she is who is coming up, right? She's the 18 to 20-year-old woman who's going to be out there dating your son, child. Please send her a nice doctor, but send her a good man. Right? I'm being very hypocritical now. Send her a doctor, send her a lawyer. That is a joke, but it's not a joke. But that kind of goes, that goes to show that, this is a narrative. I think one of the biggest takeaways that I can take from Ryan joining this conversation is that there is a weird industry push on social media. Just like people always say that Sexy Red was an industry plant. Like, where the hell she come from? Like, she was literally an industry plant that dropped out of nowhere. I agree with that. And I feel like that's a prime example. Like, I don't think people are out here like, ooh, I want to be like Sexy Red. I want to be out here with an STD. Like, people are not out here saying that. I think that it's just whatever the people out there that put the plants out there, the industry plants out there. I do think that that is what they want. I think that that's what they want to push out there, but I don't know if it's hitting as hard as we give it credit for sometimes. At the end of the day, I enjoyed this conversation. I really, really want to dig more in depth into this conversation. I want to have more conversations about the Black family, the Black household, and how bridging our finances together to excel financially and generationally and for our children, that is the right goal. Now, I'm going to end with this because I feel like I don't want to push out. Oh, get you a guy that makes considerably less than you. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying go out here and just date the Uber driver, the next Uber driver you have when you are going somewhere at night. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that do not be opposed to dating someone who makes less than you. 1, 2, focus on, like that Sharia Moore lady said, focus on what a man is bringing. I have to go back to her because when I tell you, she killed it. I'm going to close this podcast episode with the real Sharia Moore because she killed it. Make sure you guys are following me on all socials. Make sure you guys are commenting. I want to hear what your thoughts are in the comments. Let's start the conversation. Like literally, let's start bringing each other together. Let's stop divisiveness. Don't be doing podcasts about, Kendra G. 2 years ago, she wouldn't date this man. And 2 years ago, he had to look a certain way. Okay, that's 2 years ago. But she has evolved. Let's be happy with the good shit. In closing, the real Sharia Moore said, and women pay attention to this. She said a lot of women who aren't truly happy with themselves project their insecurities by creating these unrealistic, superficial checklists for men. But deep down, what they really crave is real love. I'm constantly around and connected to women. And you know what I rarely hear? I want a man with strong morals, deep respect, and someone who will truly be there for me when it matters. When I'm sick, when I'm struggling, when I need guidance. Instead, so many are focused on the fairy tale, the aesthetics, the status. Repeat it. Instead, so many are focused on the fairy tale, the aesthetics, the status. Repeat it. Instead, so many, I feel like I'm preaching, are focused on the fairy tale, the aesthetics, the status. They care more about how it looks. Y'all, I'm getting chills. Oh my God, if you could see, I could zoom in, I'm getting chills. And I'm choking. They care more about how it looks than how it actually feels. I observe, I listen, and I don't judge. But as a boy mom, I make sure to school my son on what to really look for in a woman in his generation. I tell him to pay attention to her character, her values, her mindset, because that's what truly matters in the long run. And I tell the women who are really ready to listen. Did you peep that? I didn't see that the first time. And I tell the women who are really ready to listen, if you genuinely want a good man, seek out his character first, his morals, his moral compass, his integrity. Because if he's built right, the finances and everything else will come. Too many women chase after fantasy dates and meaningless luxuries, child, because that Louis Vuitton bag will not keep you warm at night when your man is out there cheating. But what's truly valuable? A man who sees your vision and invests in you, helping you grow in ways you never imagined, okay? Invest in me, boo. I have a podcast. I want you to be out there hyping me up more than I am. Like, listen, now I'm getting triggered. A man who isn't just spending on you, but building with you. Building with you. I love it. That's the bigger picture. That's real partnership. And when you're both locked in, focused on evolving together, you don't have to rush it. You don't have to demand it. It naturally happens because when a man truly sees you as the prize, he moves accordingly. And let's be clear, patience is not settling. Know the difference and be mindful of the kind of man you're asking for, because a lot of the men you think you want, they aren't even what you truly need. you work for me. I'm the boss, put work on me. I'm the boss, you work for me. I'm the boss, put work on me. I'm the boss, you work for me. I'm the boss, put work on me. I'm the boss, you work for me. I'm the boss, put work on me. When you wake up in the morning, I need you to put it on me. Baby, you get no PTO. This work needs to be done daily. I'ma rate your performance. Baby, you and you only. Baby, don't be tardy. This work is for your eyes only. Not taking applications. Just wanna be a lady. Come get the promotion. This job posting is closing. I'm the boss, you work for me.